We took it as a challenge on ourselves. We actually were traveling in Kyrgyzstan, and maybe we were inspired a bit. We thought they were really cozy structures. The round space, it's a very friendly space to live in, I think.
This is where we put our jackets and our shoes, and then the kitchen starts. Everything in the yurt is made of small segments that you can take apart and put in the trailer and move separately, just like the yurt itself. So you see, this is one segment. Here's another one. Here's another one.
You can, yeah, you can demonstrate how to.
And this one, it goes out like this.
Yeah, it's where we store our oils and jars and yeah.
You see, normally there is rails. We also use rails for drawers a lot, but here we made the rails ourselves from 2 different kinds of wood, and it's nice to put like candle wax on it. Candle wax, it's the carpenters or the furniture makers. No, not beeswax, because it's sticky. Yeah. It's candle wax, paraffin, because it makes things glide very nicely. So you can just use wood on wood, and like that you have a nice.
And this is all built from recycled pallet wood?
All the wood you see and that we used is recycled. I would say about 80% of the materials we used in building the entire structure are recycled, and then we bought certain materials, like the fabrics we bought new, the sheep wool we bought, the stove, the wood burner was new when we bought it, and yeah, things like screws and nails and these small sort of things, but the door, the windows, they're all recycled. And then some things we bought secondhand, like the cooker, and yeah. But even the lamps, like I made them myself. I work with glass, and even the lamps are made from old recycled glass from windows. And yeah, I think the moment that we said, okay, let's do this, was when they were pruning from the city the willow trees, and they had a lot of what you see in the frame, a lot of sticks. They were just yeah, garbage. They would make wood chips out of them, and we thought, we can already have the skeleton of a possible yurt if we save those. So we asked the street workers if we could just take them, and they said, of course, sure. For them, it's less work, and yeah. And then we peeled them with a potato peeler. Actually, when the sticks are fresh, when the trees are just pruned, the way to do it is just with a potato peeler. So we had friends coming over because it's quite laborious, or the sticks also in the canna section and on the roof. Yeah, we had a potato peeling, willow sticks peeling party.
Like you see, it's a lot of pellet wood, but also we have quite a lot of hardwoods that we use in all the structures. Usually the framing is hardwood. We get it from window frames, window and door frames that are taken out, and there's a nice container where there's a company that puts new windows and doors, and they're very friendly guys, and we always look through their garbage, and there's a lot of wonderful wood still in there. You can see the bench, for example. All this wood, it's the typical wood that is used for window and door frames here, and when they put a new window or a new door, it gets thrown away. But you can plane it. Also the oak wood here, it's all from old window and door frames. What you see here also is we have the canna section. This is the canna section, which is from willow sticks that folds like an accordion. And then you see there is a panel. So our yurt, it's built from 4 canna sections and 4 panels. Traditionally yurts, they only have the canna sections. We did this, it takes a bit longer to put it up and put it down.
Than a traditional yurt.
Than just the canna sections, but the nice thing about it, we have we have more windows, so we have more light coming in. And we also use the panels to put the utilities, to put the water and the electricity to make it come.
Yeah. The stove comes from Romania. It's very heavy. It weighs around 200 kilos. And why we chose for it? Because we live in a tent, basically. With this sort of stove, you are still warm in the morning because it distributes the heat evenly.
The cooker, it's from the 50s. and it's a model that works on natural gas. We have under the bed these drawers for our clothes. And the problem is, I think many people that want to make these long drawers, they realize you need really heavy duty drawer slides. And we kind of got around that, because then you need a strong frame. This is the first drawer with clothes. And then the second one, you see here there's a shape. If you pull it out, it rolls on the first one. And it's just the shape of the wood that sort of allows this drawer to sit on this one. So you just use the wheels from the bottom, and you don't need a heavy duty frame and a heavy duty rails. Then
They squeeze.
The third one the same, it goes just on the wheels.
Yeah.
yeah,
The
exactly.
third one is just
That's
Like that, they go all three.
a brilliant idea.
And it's only cutting the plank in this shape, sort of, so they can travel independently. We have also here for our jackets. They come out like this.
sweaters.
Yeah, the sweaters, and so they. Yeah, you have quite a lot of space under the bed, and it's.
Made the best use of it.
Yeah.
Do you get in the bed?
Haha. So we had a few ladders and a few ideas to make a ladder through there, or one that folds in or out.
But actually, it's just one step on the chair and then you're up. So
Yeah.
yeah, we had the ladder here, but yeah, in the end, we were still using the chair, so it stayed like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll be questions you're not afraid it fell out.
Well, I sit on the safe side of the bed, so I let Daniel, and he's very tall, so I think he just makes one step and he's out.
Yeah. Then whatever solution we had for the ladder, we were not so happy about it. And actually, it's nice to jump in. Here we got a few cabinets, and over here maybe it's nice to see the cat flap, because we have two cats, Otto and Sheena, and they have here their own entrance just around the corner. This oak desk, it's also oak. You see it's from two pieces. Here is the joint. I planed them and joined them. It was the
Film decor, yeah.
yeah for a film. The film is called Thieves of the Wood, which is an interesting name. It's some film about kind of a Robin Hood figure. So this is the tonneau or the crown. It's an important part of every yurt. Again, made from recycled window frames. It's double glazing all around that we made ourselves. And the tonneau, it opens up just with a linear actuator. It's a bit slow and a bit noisy, but it's crucial to be able to open it.
Ventilate.
Yeah, and also when we are cooking. And we have here, it's still under construction. We are building also a yurt, but it's a panelized version. So instead of having the walls made out of fabric, here we have paddock on the outside. Then we have pear insulation, and then on the inside we have multiplex. And like this, we have 11 panels that fit around, and the roof is made of fabric. The yurt itself, we have 4 fabrics. On the inside, we just have a cotton. That is the inside wall, which is nice and white. Then we have sheepveld, which comes from Texel, an island in the Netherlands, where there is a lot of sheep. And from their wool, we have a thick veld layer. It's maybe it's nice to say it's made by a company called Nooit meer haast, the never hurry again in Dutch. Then we have a polycotton canvas, which is a canvas that is 60% polyester, 40% cotton. It is waterproof, it is resistant to rot, and but it's not resistant to UV. So then there's one final layer, which is a Titan spun polyester, and this layer, it protects the canvas from the UV. And the nice thing about that one is we can just take it off and throw it in the washing machine. so then it stays nice and white. And at the bottom, because at the bottom there's some mud and rain, it's just bisonil. So it's this. But for the rest, we cannot use bisonil because it doesn't breathe. All the other materials, they are breathable materials, so moisture can go in and come out.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what do you think about life in the yurt, and see you in the next one. Cheers.